Oh, today I want to talk about something that seems really small, but it became really big for me. This thing is like shaking like we're in experiencing an earthquake. But yeah, it's kind of a great metaphor for how I was shook. I was shooketh earlier, and something was shaking within me earlier today. So I want to talk to you today about something that seems really super small, but it shook something within me, and it caused me to do a lot of reflection on where I am in my personal journey. And you may be like, what is she even talking about? Like, how deep is it? Well, I got my nails done today. Doesn't seem like much, right? Where them nails at? Where them nails at? They right you. You would think that something as simple as going to the nail shop wouldn't be such a point of contention for me, but it was. It was. There was a lot of internal dialogue that came up for me that really was a reflection of, okay, neighbors upstairs. It's really a reflection of where I am on this walk, on this journey as a quiet powerhouse. And I hope that you can see yourself in this as well. So the internal dialogue that came up for me before I even set foot into the shop was deep, because what I was experiencing was this level of guilt. I was experiencing this level of resistance, and I was experiencing this level of control. But when I really got down, like digging down underneath it and started asking myself some very pointed questions, I realized that a question that I've asked myself over and over again in my life is, do I actually deserve this? And when I say, do I actually deserve this, this is joy. Do I actually deserve this joy? And that joy could have come in the form of, whoa, the neighbors upstairs are wilding. That joy could have come in the form of buying an outfit. That joy could have come in the form of buying a pair of shoes. That joy could have come in the form of going out to eat. That joy could have come in the form of taking myself to the movies. And like repeatedly in my life, I noticed where I was asking myself, maybe not explicitly, but I was asking myself, do I deserve this level of softness? Do I deserve this level of joy that I'm experiencing? And so this live is for the quiet powerhouse who is healing. This live is for the quiet powerhouse who still feels guilty when things are easy. When things are easy, not when it gets hard. When things are easy, to the quiet powerhouse who feels guilty about beauty, to the quiet powerhouse who feels guilty for choosing herself after she's done everything for everybody else. Is there still space for her to take up space for herself? And if that's you, you're not by yourself, because guess what? I'm there too. I'm there too. You're not alone, and I really hope that we can unpack this together. So I have 3 points that I want to make, and this is point number 1. I'm just looking down at my notes here. And talking point 1 is about, why does softness feel unsafe? Why does softness feel unsafe? Why? Why do I have such a hard time surrendering? Okay, because this is a question I've asked myself over and over again. Why do I have a hard time surrendering? Why do I have a hard time releasing the feeling of control? Because when you get right down to it, I don't run Jack Diddley squat. It's an illusion, the illusion of control. But why do I feel the need to have it so much? Why do I feel like I have to control the outcome of everything. Like, why do I feel like I have to have my hands in all the jars? And when I sat with that question and I reflected over what my life has looked like, this is the answer I received. The reason why I want to control outcomes is because in the past, surrender for me once meant danger. Not like, oh, you're gonna, not that kind of danger necessarily. Having control meant I could still survive. I could still survive. Being in control meant that nobody else had the upper hand on me and was able to take my weakness and use it as a weapon back against me. Surrender once meant danger. I've surrendered and gone all in and lost a lot, but I'm still here. I'm still here. And my body remembers what that felt like. And so my body remembers, my mind is trying to outgrow that place, but my nervous system is trying to find the reset in all of this. Like a lot of my fellow quiet powerhouses, we learned real early that if you don't anticipate the threat, you won't get blindsided. If you don't hold it all together, it's all gonna fall apart. And if you don't earn safety through perfection, you don't deserve it. Those are the things that we have been conditioned, and some of us have learned. And this is why now surrendering feels like abandonment. It feels reckless. Surrender feels like you've just you're off the rails. You're running off the rails. Control feels like love in disguise. And softness, like those soft, gentle steps of those angel babies upstairs. Softness feels like a trap. I felt like nobody's going to get me if I already anticipate what's going to. You can't get me if I already know what you're going to do. But here's the truth. This is the truth that my nervous system is just now starting to figure out. It's just now starting to believe this. Surrender doesn't mean that you stop caring. It means you stop griping about it and gripping onto the thing that you really need to let go of. It means like letting reality meet you without needing to twist things into submission, without needing to twist things in order to make them conform and fit into the way that you think that they should fit into your life. And I can give you 2 examples of where I twisted things so that they would fit into what I thought the makeup of my life should be, and where I'm still paying the consequences for those actions that I took. Example A, first husband. Example B, second husband. I twisted and fit a marriage to be those marriages into existence because I thought that's what I was supposed to be doing. I thought there was no, oh, I'm so in love with him and he's the air that I breathe and the sun rises and sets on him. None of that was happening for me in my first marriage, and none of that was happening for me in my second marriage. But I'm still paying the consequence today for the decisions I made over 20 years ago, 10 years ago, almost 15 years. Like I'm still paying the consequence for that because I was not moving in alignment. I was moving in what I thought. I wasn't moving in alignment. God wasn't nowhere up in that mug. I mean, he was, but not in the decision making. That was me trying to twist and conform reality to be what I thought it should be, based on a few different factors. We ain't gonna get into all that today. So I'm going to see if I can help you and I both move from this place of control, which, it feels safe, but it's a false safety. It is a false safeness. It's not real. It's not real. See, we can move from a space of control to a space of surrender. And that feels so scary for me. It does. Surrender is the word that has come up for me, and I've had to surrender to outcomes I could not control. And it's been a journey. It's been a journey. So take a breath. Close your eyes if you're so inclined and ask yourself, what am I trying to control right now? What am I trying to shape and shift and mold and twist and stretch and bend into existence? What am I trying to control right now? And now ask yourself, what is the fear beneath that control? Why are you really trying to control that thing? What is it that you're truly afraid of? Are you afraid that they're not going to love you back? Are you afraid that they're really going to see who you truly are? Are you afraid that they're going to see your flaws? Are you afraid that you're not going to be perceived as perfect? Are you afraid to let go? What is the fear underneath that control? So the first question, what am I trying to control right now? Second question, what fear is underneath that control? Third and final question, what would surrender feel like? It's got to be an emotion, not look like right now. What would surrender feel like in your body? Because I can tell you what it feels like when I don't surrender, when I don't say the things that I should have said, because I didn't want to surrender, because I still wanted to control, when I didn't say what needed to be said. There's a tightness in my throat. I experience jaw clenching. So when I say feel, it may be something you may physically feel, or it may be an emotion that you feel. But what would sacred surrendering feel like for you right now? So again, we're going to take a look at those three questions. What am I trying to control right now? What fear is underneath that control? And what would sacred surrender feel like, not look like, right now? Don't do the, but if I do this, this is going to happen. Don't do that. Don't do that. Not right now. You're not going into panic and protection mode. We are moving towards surrender. Then I'd like for you to name one action that would embody that surrender. Maybe it means you take a nap. Maybe it means you go ahead and call that person that you know you need to call. Maybe it's speaking that truth that you've been holding back. Or for me, it may have been as simple as going to get your nails done. Let your body do the leading. Let your body lead. Take your mind out of it. We overthink ourselves into a mess. We create a boogeyman that doesn't exist. There's no monster in the closet. Nobody's hiding underneath the bed. We create these things that don't exist because we're always used to something more dramatic happening, so that when peace shows up, we question it. When ease shows up, we don't know what to do with it. Let your body lead. Second point I want to make before these kids upstairs finish doing whatever rain dance or something. I don't know what they got going on upstairs. My God. Second thing that came to me today as I was sitting in that chair to get my nails done, because I got a pedicure too. Look at that. My joy doesn't need to be justified. I'm going to say that again. My joy doesn't need to be justified. Because as I was contemplating on getting these nails done, I was like, well, if I get my nails done, am I taking time, energy, attention away from something else that needs time, energy, and attention in my life right now? Or getting my nails done should be a reward, not a just because, Joy doesn't need to be justified because we've been taught to save that joy for later. Rest is a reward. Pleasure is a privilege. That if you feel too good, too soon, that other shoe will drop. These are feelings I have had over and over and over again. Saying, you don't do that right now, baby. You celebrate when it's all, you celebrate then, later. You celebrate later, not now. And I think a consequence of that is I don't really celebrate. I don't really celebrate. I have a birthday coming up in a couple days. I have zero plans for said birthday. Thinking that rest is a reward. This is why we work ourselves into exhaustion. And pleasure is a privilege for those who are privileged. You got to snatch your joy where you can get it. And if you're feeling too good too soon, there's got to be something wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. Because what's real is joy isn't earned. It's remembered. You are allowed to access joy even in your grief, even in your transitions, or especially in your uncertainty. Especially in your uncertainty. And that's what's sticking out most for me right now, because there's a lot of uncertainty in my life on certain things. And, keep living. If you're not feeling that, your time will come. Keep living. But you're still allowed to access joy in your grief. Friends of mine, high school friends of mine, one in particular I'm thinking about. Well, two of them, they are fathers. They are fathers that I went, they weren't fathers when I was in high school, but these two gentlemen have their children pass in the last couple of weeks. And they are still accessing joy in their own little way, in their own ways. They're accessing joy. And they're grieving the loss of a child. And I see them still accessing joy in their grief. I see them accessing joy through this transition. And there's definitely some levels of uncertainty associated with that. I still see these gentlemen accessing joy. And another thing that I know is real is that your nervous system deserves to practice feeling safe and goodness. You get to practice it. Just like I practice, I'm looking over here at my keyboard. Just like I practice at the keys, and y'all, my eyes are watery, not because of allergies, they're watery with emotion. When I got my nails done, it wasn't about like, oh, just want to have this glamorous, I want to have this glamorous moment. That's not what I was going for. I was practicing receiving something without having a level of guilt attached to that. So I am practicing receiving because I'm real good at giving. I'm to a certain extent. I'm just being real. I'm really good at giving, but I'm less good at receiving. And I want to be better at receiving. So I want to be able to receive without the guilt. And so getting my nails done was one way that I could practice that. And that's very radical for someone who was existing in the state of survival for so long, so long. I'll tell all of my story one day. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. My third talking point is that survival tone, it's not just in your voice, it's also showing up in your behaviors. Because I'm telling you what I know for myself because I've seen it. Someone close to me held up a mirror to me, a metaphorical mirror to me, and said some things about me, to me, that were absolutely true. And I didn't want to receive the truth. Survival tone showed up in my behaviors and the way I received the truth. I rejected it. I rejected the truth. That survival tone shows up in your behaviors. It shows up in your habits. It shows up as tension in your voice. It's still there. That tension in my voice is still there. There's some things that have been unsaid that I still need to say to certain people. Survival tone is how you end up canceling that nail appointment. Survival tone shows up in your behaviors and how you don't book that flight to go to Puerto Rico. Survival tone shows up in your behaviors when you don't go and buy yourself that new pair of shoes, that new outfit, that new anything, because I can make it work. I can make what I have work. It ain't working. It's not working. It's not. You think you're doing something, you're not. You're not. Survival tone shows up in how some of us will shrink in a meeting. We'll stall on a lunch, redo that landing page over and over again, edit those captions 10 times, find all the imperfections just to keep from releasing the thing. And to me, it's like, we're not scared of failure. We failed. I'm not scared of failure. I have failed over and over and over and over and over and over again. We're not scared of failure. We're not scared of success because we've had that too. I've had lots of successes in my businesses, in my personal interactions. I've had some successes. What I'm really afraid of is joy. That's what scares me, because joy requires a level of surrender. What's going on, Ivan? I just liked your bass playing on TikTok. But inside you, you have this internal dialogue, this internal voice that says, stop being too much. Stop shining so brightly. Stop drawing attention to yourself unless you can prove your value. That ain't it, man. Because what we do inside the Resonance Reset, which is a 3-day online excursion, we map out what that survival voice is, and we detox the scripts that keep you small, and we reclaim the sound of your truth in your body and in breath. I'm wrapping up here because I want to get back on TikTok, guys. So to my fellow quiet powerhouses, if you've ever hesitated to feel good, if you ever hesitated on getting your nails done, getting your hair done, I'll try to stretch that out even. That's survival tone showing up in my habits. The recommendation is to get your locks retwisted every 6 to 8 weeks. Well, my hair be growing fast. We're not even at the 6-week mark. We're not. And it's time for me to get a retwist. And so what did I do? I booked a hair appointment for Wednesday. But if you've ever hesitated to allow yourself the space to feel good without consequence, if you've stopped yourself from celebrating, if you stopped yourself from receiving, if you stopped yourself from believing that you got to earn it in order to get it, if you've ever felt that tremble that lies just beneath your voice, I want to tell you, you are not broken. You're just overdue for a resonance reset. So wherever you're watching this, just DM me or drop the word reset in the comments and I'll get at you. Because in 3 days, I'm only working with 10 women in the resonance reset. You'll have one powerful shift from surviving to speaking with sovereign softness. I'm done.